Damn. I bet OG Kettle didn't think having a stupid legacy would cost him quite like this. What's up, it's your boy Cintron, come back to another reaction video, and I kid you not, that's my real name. And man, this episode was very reminiscent. We got to see a piece of the past come back, and us have dealings with him and see if he's gonna stumble into the truth. But man, all roads that lead down memory lane ain't so rosy. You see the thorns appear on the sides. Yeah, we got poked by a few of them. So anyways, this episode starts off then dredging of the past. We see Canute training, scrapping. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know he had it in him, that dog in him. You really do see it. I mean, yes, his retainer is holding back to some extent, but he is throwing some vicious moves at him. Like he tried that. We've seen it, in the past strategy where they throw the shield up as a distraction to try to get to, give you like a 50-50. They're going, well, a four-way. Are they going left, right, up, or below? Can you go a little bit lateral and then they can move? So it's very, if you're not battle experienced, they'll throw you for a loop, but Canute knows exactly where he's aiming for. He saw the opening and swiftly dodges, even though he's wearing this heavy chained armor. So, he gets applauded for, being, able to see that and maneuverable. Because, like I said, nobody's gonna respect a king that's weak, and your enemies and your allies alike are looking at you, seeing if you can hold down the fort, not just be a king in name only. You gotta, be able to advance on the battlefield, because he takes a retreat. A bad habit is, retreating, and his retainer tells him, hey man, the boys ain't gonna respect you if you do that. You gotta step up. So he throws a little strategy at him, gets him to look away, and then hits him with, would have been a killing blow. He beat him 1 time out of 5, and it's a handicap, but still that shows a lot. So he gets his due respect, seeing that his sister says that Princess Estrid said he couldn't even touch a sword back in the day, let alone think about him wielding it. Now he's out here, got this prowess, but she says his face he looks like he's in pain. Yeah, because he's wearing the crown, but heavy as the head. Where's that motherfucker? It doesn't come easy. A lot of pressure and a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. So because he's facing something very crucial here. He's like, he needs money. He's now acquired his brother's piece of Denmark. King Harald has passed on. We saw last episode he was sick. Whether he poisoned or not, left up in the air, like he did the guys in another area who were looking to challenge for the English crown. He took him out, took out the father, and then took out the son when he wouldn't, agree. I'm like, he can respect him. He still got to end up dead for me to get what I want. And yeah, because he agreed with it in principle, the idea, but still, like, of course he has a conscience, so it's somewhat holding back, contemplating. He can actually talk to, or he talked to his dead father. He's like, man, I get it, man. He's like, I didn't think that you'd be the one to inherit my blood and inherit this curse of the king, the appetite of wanting more and more and more. Yeah, he said it's the curse of the throne, of the crown. So I mean, he needs money so he can fund his army, because he has a basically retaining a representative force there that represents his wishes and his will there in England, while he goes back and rules from Denmark. And of course he'll come back on occasional, maybe annual visit, whatever, biannual, I don't know. But he needs to fund those guys, and he's already taxing England, and they're not gonna look favorably upon being taxed more. So what do? In Denmark, you want to tax the people. You either acquire new land, or you tax the people. Those are the only 2 ways he has to go, because he doesn't want to do the third option, downsizing his army. Because he says, what is a king without his military might? He's not going to be respected. So leaves him with the option of acquiring land by nefarious means. Let's just say that. And he's like, he's got a couple of things, areas, people, lists of people that he could target. And like, dang, you wanna go that route? That's the route that I've chosen, unless you got a better option. But yeah, the OG's idiot son, while they're waiting in the meantime, goes into town and starts trouble, and he admonishes one of his retainers, saying like, "Why'd you let him go into town by himself? You know this is wild, son. You know he be out here slapping people with a 5-figure discount. You know, so yeah, I mean, he's just very irresponsible. His older brother says, hey, he's 20, but your boy still acts like a child, which, you know, he, you know, swings around his sword with all the weight and authority that comes behind him, but with none of the conscientiousness of gravity of what he's doing and what, you know, the fallout might have. So he bumps into somebody, and, you know, we didn't see it, but, you know, it's believed that, you know, he wasn't looking where the fuck he was going because he's just so self-important. And, you know, he causes the guy to drop his claws into the mud. And, yeah, that's a loss of profit right there, you know. If it was just on the dirt, you could, you know, brush it off and try again. Shout out to Leah. But he doesn't want to pay any damage. He's just like, this is a scam. You ran into me on purpose. You weren't paying. You need to be paying attention where the fuck I'm going. Like, that's just arrogant. Like, be aware of yourself. Okay, if I run into somebody, I'll apologize. You know, like, if it's my fault, hey, I will not waste a moment trying to be prideful in something I didn't do unless I'm just tripping on one, and then I deserve what I get. But yeah, I don't need to be looking out for you. You're a whole human being with conscientiousness and a whole conscience, and need to be aware of your surroundings, self-awareness, nigga. But, you know, he's proud and all this shit. So he does exactly what his father, you know, said he would do. He's like, he's probably not starting some fight, and it's like, on cue, we have this situation here. And you're like, man, this fucking idiot. He can end up dead, you know, but he's like Charleston White out here. He pulls the gat, the equivalent of the gat in this day and age. He pulls a sword on a dude, and dude's like, hey, that ain't fair. He's like, oh, you ain't prepared to die out here in these streets? Like, I'm like, most people don't look to kill for argument. You one of them new age Twitter punks, you know, these soft niggas in you know, modern day era, quit to kill somebody instead of scrap it out like we do back, you know, we used to do back in the day. But now we don't scrap. We just jump and delete people. But his dad catches him and he's like, my stupid son, plop, blocks him right on the head, makes him drop the sword, makes him apologize, and then gives dude money, you know, and the dude's like, okay, what? Okay, well, I'll graciously accept. I mean, appreciate you. And then, like, his dad tells him, Thorfinn, what the fuck are you doing, man? Get that man back his, like, you know, some change. And you're like, what? I mean, he didn't say that, but I'm embellishing because it's making it more interesting. Anyways, you're not even watching it, so it's all good. But they're like, Thorfinn, what the He's like, I'm Leif Erikson. And like, that's old boy. That's Thorfinn's dad's friend. Like, and, you know, he's been looking for Thorfinn for fucking years. So he's like waiting, you know, they're just gonna tease here and go somewhere else. But no, they continue that. And he sits down with him. He's like, he gets into talking details, and it's onto the story of, yeah, this is my son Thorfinn. He's like, Thorfinn, I have a Slav named Thorfinn. And he's like, for word? He's like, okay, yeah. And he's like, this is my adopted son. He's like, wow, this dude really going around adopting anybody named Thorfinn, because they could theoretically be the Thorfinn that he's looking for. But, you know, that's besides the point. He's like, let's tell me more about this Thorfinn. He's about the yay high, this color hair. Yeah, actually he's a little bit shorter than the average guy. And like, this could be a hit. And we know, of course, we the audience know that this is Thorfinn. And he has hit on the right guy. So, yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see that, you know, they might reunite. And remember last time we met, or like, I think it was met or he just came in close contact. He was like, I don't want to go back home, so I'm good. But now I think he'd be singing a totally different tune. You know, family would mean something completely different to him now, because he's in a complete different headspace. He's sworn off violence, which we know that ain't gonna last long. You're gonna have to, and it's, you know, because this is just the world we live in. You know what I'm saying? It's like people are like, well, I don't want to accept any girl that has bodies. In this day and age, in the Western world, she is gonna have them. You looking for a virgin, you're gonna be hard pressed. Yeah. Even, I mean, I prefer, but even I'm just being realistic. You know, she most likely is gonna have them souls that she's collected, like she's saying Shang Tsung. Anyways, I mean, the dad, he wants to, he requested a audience with King Harold, but he doesn't know that King Harold has passed away. His son, a part of King Canute's royal guard, informs him of such. All the gifts he had, like 3 boatloads of gifts, to present to him. He's like, damn, what do I do? Actually, King Canute wants to come out and meet you, but he doesn't know that. But he says, oh, well, there's a silver lining. I can grease the wheels with him and get good with him. So he sets up to meet him. I mean, he sets up his son to send a message to say, hey, can I meet you? Message comes back fast, instantaneously. Message delivered in their day and age. Says, okay, cool. Be cool to meet him. I'm like, well, why would they expedite this? There's got to be something fishy going on behind the door, behind the closed doors, and we know that there's a connection there. So they actually meet him, and he brings his son, both his sons with him. Remember, one son already serves as a guard, so they know him. And he says, yeah, like, I wish to, to maintain a relationship. He's like, your goods are good, they're of high quality, this, that, and the other. His son stands up. He's like, his retainer, Canute's retainer, is like, the captain of his guard is like, what are you doing, bro? You're in front of the king, kneel, motherfucker. And he just like makes a request. He wants to serve in his army. He says, okay, cool. Let me put you to the test here. Cut this pig up. This is a soldier's dinner. Go ahead and do that. Slice that motherfucker up. Get into that shit. And he can't do nothing. He could just a failure. I'm saying, you ain't good for shit. So he fails the test, but he's like, let me think about this. I'm like, King Canute, what is there to think about? This nigga's ass. He's that pig's booty up there. Why would you? The boy's got something in mind. So he, takes it into consideration, takes it back. And, the father, his old time was like, shut the fuck up, nigga. We in here good and you up here even us exposed. And you don't even know how exposed this. We'll get to that later. But, he's crying because he failed and he looked like a dumbass in front of the king. And his brother telling him like, man, I'm gonna be hearing about this for weeks because your stupid ass have been embarrassing me like this. You know what I'm saying? Just can't accept the fact you ain't got no skills. So he's talking, King Canute's talking with it about, talking about it to his royal guard, and the captain of the guard. He's like, what do you think? I don't know what that nigga served under me. Weak piece of, ain't worth his damn salt. He's worthless out there. I mean, he's gonna be the first to get served up on a platter, like he's that soldier's dinner. And he's like, but okay, well, what do you think about him though? And like, yeah, he could be useful. And he's like, yeah, he could be the perfect way to serve as a come up to what we want. Kettle has a lot of farmland. We can acquire that by way of his dumbass son. I'm like, damn, Kettle, you is black as the pot that you about to get for having a dumb son. That's a price. Like, I couldn't have, like, if I just have to disown him, or he'd have to throw away that useless pride. I mean, like, say, like, people like this very useful. Don't have any skills, but high on pride. Like, shut up. But yeah, his price has a stupidity in it. It's gonna cost those around him, chiefly, those closest to him, collateral damage. His father, and he's the end for King Canute to get what he wants, expansion of resources. And it's just sad that they got to go down like this, but he made a mistake bringing him along, putting him in the audience as somebody so powerful that he could attach himself at the expense of you and what's yours. So we saw a little bit of a preview there. He's maybe getting tested out, but this is all going to end in misery for his father. But it's also going to lead us back to Thorfinn. And I mean, like Leaf said, oh, he's from a warrior. He didn't even know all that, so he has some value as well. But we'll get into that next time. So anyways, in the saga of V's, we're trying to stack V's on V's and make dubs.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you
Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs. or other social media.